Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum to talk stogies, booze, food, and anything else in cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, Junkies?
I'm Corey.
I'm Sam.
Jason over here.
And we are the Cigar Junkies, and if you're hanging out with us, that means that you are too. We appreciate you chilling with us today. So for this new format, we're going to get right into it while Jason takes a look, cuts, and lights up this fantastic stick we're having today.
Cool draw.
Let's go ahead and listen to who provided it for us, which is Leaning House Fine Cigars.
It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Leaning House Fine Cigars. The Leaning House is your destination for the ultimate cigar smoking experience. Whether you're exploring their wide selection of premium cigars, unwinding in their comfortable lounge, or enjoying live music on one of the most unique and intimate live music venues in the burg, the house has something for everyone. Do you want to try the stick we're smoking today? Stop by leaninghousefinecigars.com or visit Dave in Bell Vernon or Heidi in Brownsville. Wherever you are, make the house your home for premium cigars.
That's right. Make the house your home. Gosh darn it. We are smoking the Pistoff Kristoff. And no, I didn't swear. That doesn't count toward the change jar.
Nope.
It is spelled Pistoff. We are smoking the 5.5 by 54 Robusto. It's got a San Andreas wrapper on it, binder from Indonesia, and filler from Nicaragua. This cigar is blended to be heavy. Jason, just to catch you up, Sam and I, not so much on the initial lighting of this cigar as it have the punch that we remembered, but I think it's coming. I think it's coming around eventually, so don't get too comfortable. Although you could smoke this really fast. I think that would be the best way to do it, don't you?
No, not even to mess with them. Because if the little one did what it did. The little one is pissed off.
You talking about little Corey?
No, the little pissed off.
Sorry, that's just usually what. Sorry,
I got to get you a little pissed off
I have
to put
a
on that statue.
different association. Well, you know what they say about small guys. We got chips on our shoulders. You know what I mean? So, thank you.
That's because the crumbs fall down from all the tall people.
You beat me just barely. I was going to say they're sour cream and onion.
Sour cream and onion.
A fun fact: I haven't eaten potato chips in a really long time.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've actually been really good. The only thing I've really indulged in is ice cream. Since I've started this healthier lifestyle, so it maybe. Although yesterday I had my ice cream with a brownie on it, so shame on me.
Cheat day.
Yeah. But I have been really, really good. We'll get to that in a second. The Pistoff Kristoff is deceivingly strong, full-flavored cigar with notable nutty character, spice, toffee, toffee and coast. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I expected that to be coffee, and it threw me on the next part.
Yeah.
Toffee and toast. And a long, sweet finish. Don't want the smoothness of the cigar fool you. This one packs a punch. That is what they have to say about it on their own website. Just for clarification, I don't provide tasting notes unless I'm going. If you see me jumping up and down in a very expeditious manner, it means I probably tasted something and I'm excited.
I'm invisible.
Hey, I appreciate that about you. Might want to deactivate and reactivate the old
that's not
camera
great.
number 2. So, a little bit about the man behind the brand, Glenn Case. Who would guess that 19 years in the corporate finance industry would lead to one of the best cigar manufacturers in the world? Midlife crisis turned success. Glenn, which is actually, I find that very positive to know because I feel like I'm about there. Let's go. Let's
You
go
ready for your midlife crisis?
Yeah, let's get at it.
Talk about like suddenly going on a drastic diet, buying an e-bike and things like that.
Well, that's not. It's not drastic diet. The doctor told me to lose weight, so I did. The e-bike is more or less my purchasing compulsion, which has been there forever.
But that's how midlife crisis starts.
I don't have
That's
a
all right.
convertible.
My midlife crisis is going to be a tattoo and a Ferrari. So
You're sitting in mine.
See, that's what he thinks, but it's actually just going to be a tattoo of a Ferrari. Once he looks at the bank
that's what
account.
I said: a tattoo and a Ferrari.
Hey, I know a guy who could hook that up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Glenn decided to make a change for the better, leaving the corporate world behind to focus on his true passion. Glenn started off in the professional cigar industry as an independent sales rep, but it only took 6 months before he knew he wanted to launch his own line. which set off the first sparks for the Kristoff Cigar Company. The rest is history. Glenn is more than just passions. His values are a family man and rooted within the whole of Kristoff Cigars. Even the name Kristoff comes from his son, Christopher, while his daughter, Brittany, continues to inspire blends like the Christiana. I mean, that's not even close to her name, but okay. Whether he's working to develop new cigars or camping with his family, Glenn is dedicated to what he loves. So speaking of which, like, y'all are going to harass me, which is fine. That's like
par for the course.
The name of the show for sure. 21 pounds so far.
Dude,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
not
harassment
bad.
on that at all.
21 pounds
awesome.
isn't bad. That's like way over 10% of my total weight.
Yeah, that's one of my kids. Well, half of one of my kids. So
Yeah, it's not horrible.
yeah.
You know.
Never mind.
He was and to be fair,
To be fair,
Doc did not tell me that I had to lose weight. He was like, "You need this pill. If you got back to where you were at, you probably wouldn't need it." Which I'd probably stay on it anyway, just to have the extra insurance, because I feel like a heart attack ready to happen most days.
fair enough.
Life is stressful, you know, so I'd probably stay on anyway. But I just needed somebody to be like, "Hey, you got to you should lose some weight," because otherwise, I'm 5'6", bald, and one of the best looking guys in the cigar industry already. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
look
have you
like
seen the other
80%
dudes?
of the
Yeah,
cigar industry. So
insane.
like it is the typecast.
I'm like the Halloween fun-sized version of Steve Saka.
But if you lose weight, you're not going to fit the bill anymore.
well, I'll fit in something.
Yeah, you need to be rotund
Yeah,
to be in
it's-
this industry.
Yeah,
No longer. I'm downgrading from Robusto to Corona, is what I'm working at here right now. Half a Lancero would be fine.
What's up, Dina? Seneca said if you get any smaller, we're going to have to start calling you Caillou.
I don't know what that means. Is that an anime
Oh, right.
reference?
It's a little
Seneca.
tiny anime bald guy.
That's incredible.
If
That's
he would have said
absolutely
Krillin, I would have got it.
Yeah.
I'd have been fine. Like, I can see the Krillin with a little facial hair plus a prosthetic nose.
No, at one point Krillin did have facial hair.
What about a nose?
He also
never had
he
a
also had head hair.
Screw that guy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I had head hair once too. You know what I mean? And occasionally on Halloweens or whenever I feel like putting the old wigs on. So I mean, it's possible.
I am gonna say the toffee that they noted in that. I get it, like big time. I'm tasting that. That's I smelled your drink because I'm like, strawberry kiwi does not sound like it would go well with this. Like,
It doesn't.
no, but like, I understand what that bottle's for. I know the purpose of said bottle, so
What
like
about
I'm
this
for
bottle?
it. That's the bottle. That's the precursor to that bottle.
That's correct.
So-
this is the next day bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
All
I
right.
learned in Vegas. I don't care how you feel the night before you go to bed. If you pound a whole one of those and then go to sleep,
Is that very
so
hydrating?
much better. Yeah,
You should have threw that out to our special friend Colby. Colby, not feeling super well, was looking for hydration advice on the interwebs the other day. We hope Colby gets well soon.
Yeah.
Grab yourself some body armor. And
That's right.
I prefer
flash it.
I prefer the Gator lights. Those are the. They just taste better. That's all. I'm sure they all work the same.
I'm going straight to my conversational notes, which I'm impressed with myself for having. First of all, I need to know. I'm gonna start with you because I feel like his is gonna go on. What was your favorite TV show as a child, like your kid's age child, like probably a cartoon?
Either Tailspin or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Whoa, he went with tailspin.
Yeah, one of the two. Those were my
Tailspin.
go-to.
Yep.
1991. Come home from school, snuggle time on the couch with mom.
Tailspin was cool, but you know what? Like my second is your second is my first, but the very first time I remember feeling hype in my life for something that I wasn't indoctrinated to feel, like Christmas or something, was when they started doing the commercials for the launch of Darkwing Duck. Do you guys remember?
Dude.
That was like
Let's
the power
get
of
dangerous.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
I am the
100%
terror that flaps in the night.
No.
Let's go, bro.
So you use the
That-
big boy voice for that, except the whole thing is like, you know,
I got it.
let's get dangerous. I'm the terror that flipped in the night. Like, it just, as soon as he talks, you're like, yes, this is awesome.
You never go full Wilson. So that was the first time ahead of a show coming
you hype
out
trained.
that I remember, like Hollywood being like, put on your pull-ups because you're gonna crap yourself when this comes out. And it was probably more hype than the actual show. Like, if you cut that show down to like 10% of what it is, if you boiled it down to just Darkwing doing his like monologues before he went to fight people, that show was so much doper and darker than it actually was. It was pretty lighthearted because it was a duck show.
Mom is here. So
Good morning,
Mom.
Miss
We
Mom.
were just discussing Nuggle time when I was a kid coming home and watching Tailspin. It was Tailspin. I can't remember what came on after that, but I was always a like early bird.
They had like Gummy Bears was a stupid
I remember Gummy Bears.
thing.
Gummy Bears,
It wasn't quite the
Tailspin,
same as
DuckTales.
Saturday morning.
DuckTales.
All right, Jay, what do you got? This is going to be something Japanese. Let's go.
No, it's the only cartoon that ever mattered in my life. It was a Saturday morning X-Men cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you didn't have a daily one though that was like your daily go-to? Like you weren't a TMNT guy?
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really? From that early on?
It started when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
That's
we're
that's
talking
late.
like
elementary.
Yeah,
What's-
the X-Men cartoon, the
No,
Saturday
but
morning
like,
X-Men cartoon.
like
Yeah.
you weren't like a Ninja Turtle kid growing up watching TMNT?
I wasn't allowed to be in the house.
Yeah. See,
I wouldn't have
mine
wanted
was
them
at
in there
most
either.
of my TMNT was at 4:00 in the morning when no one was awake, grabbing the knob on the RCA and ka-tunk and trying to pull it out slow enough that it didn't make the giant thump sound to wake my parents up.
Yo, just reminded
Oh,
me.
Mom said Animaniacs. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Dude.
You know what was a banger though? And
Hello,
actually, this is
nurse.
transition.
Hello.
This is a good transition. A banger. The first time I ever played it was on somebody else's console because I didn't have a Super Nintendo. Never did.
Yeah, neither did I.
Nintendo, Genesis, and so on. You know what was a banger of a game was Tiny Toons on SNES.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
game was dope.
It was all right.
But that brings me to yesterday. Because, like, my two questions here, well, my two notes tie together. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but a year or so ago, a company came out with a new retro style. You guys remember arcades?
Yeah.
Right? Just pouring quarters. Just throwing them in there. One of the best arcade games ever is any Ninja Turtles arcade you can
Yes.
find, right? The side-scrolling Ninja Turtle arcades.
I don't know about that.
You didn't love those? You are a disturbed human being.
The best side-scrolling arcade games
Double Dragon.
were in order. Number one, the Simpsons arcade game,
Yeah. it's
Oh,
pretty
okay. Yeah, that's.
and number two, the X-Men arcade game, the 8-player double.
See, I never
X-Men
never played
ones
it.
Were okay, but they were always pretty non-creative with like the bad guys and kind of felt a little generic, like with everything else.
I mean, you're talking about generic when all you fought in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one was foot soldiers.
That's
Yeah.
actually not true at all.
Yeah.
They had a lot of stuff happening, including, do you not remember being on like the overpass or the bridge where Krang was
Yeah.
blown up and shooting his eye thing at you?
The
Anyways,
the bridge was where you fought Baxter Stockman.
so the thing that's incredibly cool is there were a few of those, maybe not a bunch, but a few of those Ninja Turtle arcade games. Well, a few years ago, they came out with a new one, like an entirely new one that looks exactly the same. Like, it's really clean.
Yeah.
Looks beautiful on the PS5. And it's called TMNT Shredder's Revenge. And it is amazing. It is everything you'd want it to be. And do you remember the NES version where you would drive in the turtle van between
yeah.
levels, very like
Yep.
Super Mario World?
Yeah.
They have that element to it as well, dude. It is. I played through a lot of it last night. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
But it is.
Well, it does look really good.
Fantastic, dude. It is so much fun.
I just
like.
want to hold on. I want
Yeah.
to give props real quick. My mom just made a Rocco's Modern Life reference.
Oh my God!
She
Mrs.
called.
Big Head, I'm going to call her from now on.
She called it. She just said porridge. Do you know why?
Why?
I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world when I was a kid.
Sam's mom,
Has got it going
Sharon.
on.
I've got a question for you specifically.
Uh-oh.
Considering, you remembered Rocco's Modern Life. Do you, and put it in the comments here, do you remember what Rocco did for a living?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
talked about that on
Yeah,
the show.
but
Yeah, we
I want to
have.
see if she
Yeah, but
remembers
Well,
or
let us
not.
know if mom's paying
Yeah, if
attention
mom's
to what
paying
the kids
attention.
are watching.
Right.
Right. Old. No, I promise you, she wasn't paying attention because that was the babysitter, man. On rainy days.
No, not in our house.
On
man.
rainy days?
No, if we were watching TV, she was snuggled up with us. Like that
Oh,
was
no,
the point.
no
Yeah.
snap. Okay,
Yeah, we
cool.
didn't watch a lot of TV, but
Fair
when we
enough.
did, it was a family thing.
Dude, like I lived in like the Skid Row, like Section 8 housing when I was super little. So like, if we weren't inside watching TV, we were ripping windshield wipers off of the cars in the junkyard next to our house and using them as Ninja Turtle weapons
Yep.
against each other. So chances are you were better off us being inside watching TV.
It was
'cause we were
safer.
doing
I
bad
remember
stuff.
one afternoon, my sister was riding her tricycle. She was that little, and I was pretending I was Donatello, and I whacked her right in the mouth with a broomstick.
Just me? Okay.
Yeah, just
Yep,
you on
just
that one.
you.
Okay.
I still don't get it.
All right.
Yeah.
I will, for the interest of being good, I have no problem actually like leaning into giving you crap. But all right, I'll at least say this. For future reference, you might not want to say like, and then I whacked my sister right in the mouth.
How did you get there?
I don't know. I'm stupid. Leave me alone.
So I'm going to take your question. and I'm gonna-
How did you go there? Tequila. That's how he went there.
So my mother said she's
helps.
drawing a blank on what Rocco did for a living.
Hey, get her, Jason. Ruin
Sharon,
it. Ruin it.
Sharon, Rocco was honest to God, and
Oh baby,
I don't-
oh baby, oh baby.
exactly.
Oh,
I don't know
baby.
how this got past the board.
Oh yeah.
But Rocco was a saxophone operator.
Yeah.
That's where he worked at. He worked as an operator or one of the personalities on one of those dirty 1-800 numbers
1-900
or 1-900
Yep.
numbers that would
900
play at
number.
like 4:00 in the morning. That's what Rocco did.
I've got your Kevin Smith style, like real life things. Like, so Kevin Smith came into the money and then purchased a comic book store and put his childhood friend in charge of it. Right, that was the whole thing of Comic Book Men, the series on Discovery or whatever. If this venture turns out to be with the cigar store lucrative enough that you could buy a really stupid idea for like a side business, you got to open a comic book store somewhere in this plaza and allow Jason to run it and call it Kind of a Lot of Comics.
No.
Yeah.
No, I have no comic book love from being a kid. Like we just
That's
wasn't
why
a
you
thing
put
for us.
Jason in charge.
No.
You just be like, I got the money. Here you go. Here's a comic book
If he
store.
wanted to open a comic book store, we would call it Just the Strip.
Just the strip. There you go.
That's it.
And that finally a good use for
I was
that one.
saving that name for a different business that I was hoping I could run.
Well, interestingly enough, when I was younger,
Eric was going to be our best customer, by the way.
when I was younger, I always wanted to open up a strip club and call it the comic strip.
The comic strip.
Yeah.
And they dress up as
And they
comic
dress
book
up
characters.
as comic book characters. Not trademarked comic book characters. They would all create their own character, and that's what it would be. Yeah.
Every man, every time.
That's a good question. If you came into whatever money, what business would you open up that like it's not practical, but like I want to do this?
You've already done it.
Nah, mine would be a off-road park.
Well, yeah,
Mountain
but you've
bike,
already
dirt
done
bike,
mine.
Oh,
Jeeps,
that's
like
cool.
100%. If I could purchase the property, that'd be it. But that
Did
is
you
not
guys-
a great business model unless you are in a
You just gave me
way
a
better place
horrible
than I am.
idea.
Okay.
Horrible idea. I don't know if you guys know this. You are both close enough to video games to recognize what Rocket League is.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that The Simpsons invented that? That was one of the things they don't get credited for, but it was one of those things like 10 years beforehand that they invented that nobody realized. Because there's an episode where Springfield gets a blizzard, and there's no plow trucks, and like the kids are all walked in school. It's like, what happened to all the plow trucks? And it's like Mr. Burns bought them, and it cuts to Mr. Burns' house, and Mr. Burns and Smithers are each driving around inside of the mansion in plow trucks with soccer goals on each side, trying to get a ball into the net. And I'm pretty sure that's what I would do for like the stupidest business ever. Yeah.
So what would yours be? Like magic shop,
A recording studio.
recording studio.
Yeah, I would.
No, that's just so easy these days.
I would do a recording studio, like young bands, local
Yeah.
bands and stuff like that, record their music.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I
that's
would
cool.
I got the electronic kit together. Unfortunately, there's not enough left for you to make a full set.
That's fine.
Because because I anticipated what my buddy Mike. We're talking drums. Mike, the stuff Mike gave me did not have any cymbals.
That's fine.
So I still
Symbolism.
have
What's
all-
the symbolism there?
There are
Greenlee.
Plenty of people on
Great
Facebook
movie.
Marketplace selling entire kits for
Oh
like
yeah,
$150.
for absolutely sure.
Do you remember how expensive those were when they came out? Like
Oh, yeah.
6,
Yes.
$8 grand for a
Yes.
basic set.
Yeah. They're pretty cheap. You can still spend a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But you have some pretty cheap options.
Yeah. So on the, same concept as your questions, Jay.
I thought we were going back to cigars for a second. I was scared.
I am.
Oh.
So you don't have the same kind of getting into cigars that we did. So what would you, if you had to pick a go-to cigar, what is yours right now?
Oh man.
It doesn't have to be an every time, anytime cigar, but like what's one you
Like,
find
if
yourself
you
going
knew
back to?
If you were like, I've got an hour and a half to myself, I want something I know it's going to hit. I think is what
Yeah,
he's
that's-
asking.
Oh, 100% the Killer
Killer
Bee.
Bee. I knew it. Yours, vintage. I mean, you smoke. I'm outside of the vintage.
Vintage is, I smoke so many of them. And to be honest with you, that cigar varies a lot.
Yeah.
Like in a box of 50,
You might have 3 different cigars in there.
oh, very much
Yeah.
so. Depending on the box, I might get 45 of them that all hit on all cylinders, and I might get 2 of them that hit on all cylinders because there's a lot of variation in that cigar for some reason. But the point of it is, for me, is that it's so affordable
Yeah.
to be able
It's
to
efficient
have,
and great.
like, a cigar that I know that I can love, and we all know there's other things that play into that as well. What else you've eaten, what your mood is, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I wouldn't say that's the one that I would actually be like, bam, let's go. If I'm being honest with myself, the classic Aladino one is something that I would definitely be like, I know this is going to be great every time. But there's so many other things too. It just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. Definitely anything Leaf by Oscar or Oscar Valadares related.
Yeah.
Superfly hits every time. Anything Roma Craft I know is going to really provide
You can
a
depend on
punch.
it, yeah.
Oh, Roma
Yeah.
Craft stuff is great.
It
Yeah.
depends. It
There's a
depends
new
on
one.
where my mind space is at. But there's definitely options.
Yeah.
But that's like, as I was sitting here thinking about it, I was thinking about the Killer Bee because the Killer Bee has that closed foot on it, and I love that light.
Your mom's like, you're done talking about cartoons. I'm out.
Yeah. Peace. I'm out of here. Bye, Mom.
Hey,
The Killer Bee has that closed foot on it, and
I just got a from Uncle Artie. This is a night shot
Nice.
cam footage. This is the first thing we've seen with more than 2 points. So
Nice.
that was
sorry, Jason.
that was-
I'm sure.
So you were saying the Killer Bee
okay.
closed foot.
Yeah,
You love
Killer
the
Bee
light on
closed
it.
foot. Love the light on that, and then the Green Hornet, that Candela band that they have, that electrifies that cigar.
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's got that little Candela band on the top of it, and yes, Corey.
No. That was not the one that you point to me on. That's the one that Sam knows it well enough to just ignore.
Yeah,
and we get
usually.
to it when I get to it. Sam,
So
Sam,
you're
no.
aware.
Yeah, Sam. No, Jay. Okay, so real quick, there's a cigar that we've been floating around, trying to.
I'll tell you what. If you're was cigar related, take it.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Normally, it's like
kinda
it's like
is.
A picture of a deer.
dick joke.
Well, a quarter.
Quarter. That's a bad word.
I was talking about a person.
Oh, yeah, Richard does
Nixon.
joke.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, okay. Nixon was the obvious choice.
Dick
Come on,
Butkus?
Futurama. I know you're already very dedicated to a certain idea for the cigar that we were considering branding, but what about brown chicken, brown cow?
Brown chicken,
I told you shouldn't have put it on me. That was just one of those ones that was just in my head that you should have left alone. I was just very happy to be here in the background and have my own little epiphany in my head, and then let's move on and forget about it.
Unfortunately, I really like that.
Yeah, it's terrible. I love it.
It's horrible because you
It's-
think of it, you're like brown chicken, brown cow.
It's better terrible than what you were considering before, because what you were considering before was so limited on who would know what it is.
Yeah, it's very specific, but that's what makes
But
it
if
fun.
you think about the other one that you carry with the cool band with the stick figures on it and like the mass appeal of that for,
Yeah.
I think brown chicken, brown cow, we could draw a fantastic little artwork label band
little
for
ditty
it.
on that.
That would be so good. Yeah. Hey, we could throw a shout out to Eric on it. Maybe the chicken only has 2 toes on 1 foot instead of 3. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's go.
That horse is a zombie.
Of course.
Of course.
Hey,
Yeah, so,
Jason has been away.
yes.
What have you been doing? You've been up at that Boy Scout.
Yeah, how
camp.
was it?
Are all the kids relatively trauma free? Did you do anything that we need to report to the police?
That was probably the best week I've had in years.
Nice.
Good. Good
It
for
was
you.
incredible.
You got
Ran
to
out in the
touch your
woods.
inner child
Every-
and some other people's too.
Every morning, we woke up at 6 o'clock,
Oof.
walked up to the pool, which was like a 2-minute walk, and jumped in the pool at 6:30 in the morning. Did the polar bear plunge every
Started your day that way.
morning.
That
Started our
sounds
day
horrible.
every day. that way.
The only
great.
good thing about that was if you have to walk 2 minutes ain't bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty close to the aquatics place. I have a video of me actually doing a
Cannonball?
rock climbing wall.
Yeah.
Hey.
We were standing.
Good. Look at you, big boy.
We were standing in the. I actually won an award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I whipped that
Most
kid's
animated?
ass.
No, I did the most as a leader. I did the most leader activities.
you just
and
kept
stuff.
going.
Yeah, I did not stop.
I was
Had
going
my,
to say hits off of Newport.
had my wife bring up the weed whacker. I trimmed our campsite and everything.
nice.
Oh yeah, we got like service awards and stuff
This
like
episode brought to you by Manscaped.
We
Not really.
We won the Honor Unit Award, which was like service projects for the campsite, campsite improvements and stuff like that. It was for a troop of 5 boys.
You guys got at it,
We
huh?
got at it. We
That's
have
cool.
One of our scouts is an eagle, and he's done. As far as being like, there are no more advancements for him, but he's
He's done
still
until
involved.
one day when he's a dirty-looking dago and he can take his own kid to camp, and he can do the thing.
You realize that's a racial slur, right?
That-
I
is
did after
terrible.
I said it, but it wasn't toward everyone else. It was just the first thing I could think of to try to insult Jason.
Just keep digging.
Swing and a miss.
Anyhow, we have an
No,
Eagle
that's cool.
Scout, which
I'm as Italian as he is, probably, so we're okay.
we have an Eagle Scout,
We'll get
which
size issues.
we have an Eagle Scout, which is I'm just going to mute him. We have an Eagle Scout, which is like I said, he doesn't have to do any more advancements or anything like that. He can pretty much just be like, okay, I'm done with Scouts.
Yeah.
But he won, and he's 15 years old. He's a
Wow.
really, really young Eagle. COVID
Yeah.
offered him a lot of time to just
get after it.
do advancements. He won. He went up there and did. He wanted to shoot the entire time, so he did shotguns, 22s, rifles, and
Nice.
stuff like that. He went from nothing, not even having the merit badge, to earning the merit badge, earning the marksman medal, earning the pro marksman medal, earning the sharpshooter medal, earning the expert medal. And what was funny is when we went down to the closing campfire, he had all 6 of those medals on him.
Just
Like he
pounded
was like,
out.
I don't want to wear them. I don't want to wear them. But we were like, no,
Mr. Smith, my chest is hot.
put them all on. Put them all
Yeah,
on. They did this thing called the Cowboy Action Shoot, where we did a .22 revolver, a lever action rifle, and a double barrel coach gun.
Yeah.
He won that.
Wow.
He
Kid's
also,
on it, huh?
yeah, he won the tomahawk throw. We called him sharpshooter for the rest, or not sharpshooter, gunslinger. We called him gunslinger for the rest of camp. Yeah,
Made his week.
Oh yeah, they called him up for the award. We were like, gunslinger, yeah.
You should for something, a nickname that would have went over his head. You should have just called him McGavin, because he would have probably had no idea. Hey, what's up, McGavin?
So,
What do we think of this? Sorry, we're short on time, so I'm gonna.
We're
wanna,
actually doing not so horrible,
But
We
I do
still
wanna-
got like 50. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get like
on
on
a cigar
Yeah.
show, we'll talk about the cigar.
What are your thoughts on
If
it?
we have to. Definitely not as bad as I remember. I don't know if that's because I'm more experienced. I think this is a little tamer than it used to be, personally speaking. I remember, like, I'm halfway through this bad boy already.
Yeah, you're hammering.
I mean, I remember smoking this and feeling like the closest that I felt for a regular production cigar to the Camacho Triple Maduro in its prime days of that, like, elephant sitting on my chest. This is nothing.
Nah, it's
nothing.
The retro doesn't even like blow my head off.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean that was always the thing with it. It wasn't supposed to smash you in the face with like pepper. It was supposed to be smooth but bold, which
Okay.
is which brings you back to the Triple Maduro.
That's not what it brings me back to, but Jason's input first.
This is actually the second time this week I've smoked this cigar.
Oh, really?
It's same
Yeah.
same size?
Same size, yeah, same one.
Okay.
I bought when I went back to Dave's place.
Where'd you
when
go?
I-
Did you make the Leaning House your home for
I did
premium
make the Leaning
cigars?
House my home. See what I have. I don't know what it is about me when I go down. Yeah, probably when I go down to Leaning House to get the cigars. Like if I'm picking the cigars up for the week, I have to buy something.
Yeah.
I can't just go in there, grab free cigars, and jet.
leave.
I've got to buy something. And I usually, if he's got the Killer Bee in there or the Green Hornet in there, I usually pick one of those up. This is one of the ones I pick up.
Yeah.
So I had quite a few of them in my car. In fact, I have another one of these in my car right now.
There you go.
So you're right at home with this cigar.
Yeah,
And your
this
thoughts
cigar's-
on it are?
My thoughts on it are it is, I wouldn't call it the Pistoff.
No.
I
But-
do feel like that's changed.
Yeah.
This is not what I remember. This
It used
cigar
to be peppy, like
Yeah.
like Green Hornet peppy.
like a
Yeah.
lot of Lajero or something.
Yeah, something about it is just different now.
That
which
Indonesian
happens over
binder.
time, right? Like,
Sure.
consistency can only be so much.
Absolutely. And they might have put it out there with the idea of originally being like, hey, let's set ourselves apart by trying to get people to be like, oh, let's see if this can make us sick or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's an interesting idea. And then they may have then, over the course of years, chilled it out a little bit to actually be something that people would want to smoke.
Sure.
Not just like a, hey, let's take the challenge kind of thing.
Well, and another thing to consider is crop yield. So, like, if they couldn't get the tobacco for it, they wanted to keep the flavor profile, but they had to lose the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's 1,000 ways that it would have been forced to change. So, I'm really enjoying it way better than I did the last time I had it.
Seneca says still anything Stolen Thrones
Yeah.
is for him.
Call
I
to-
have to agree with that.
Call to Arms is mine.
Stolen Thrones is a fantastic brand. Actually, while we're in that, I'm gonna throw Noel Rojas in there as well.
Yeah.
Rojas
I-
is just a banger every time. pretty much.
Luciano. I love their line.
Yeah.
Man. I don't remember what the purple and white one.
The Magic? The ATL Magic?
No.
Purple and white?
Yeah, it's got like a purple and white band. Reminds me of like a Hawaiian flower.
While we try to think of it, I have a homework assignment for you, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Can you set up a screen capture, like a Windows capture? Jump onto the Facebook group where you guys should all be hanging out, where you can see all of
Ooh
our
la
recent
la.
activity, including the
Maria
live,
Lucia.
which is posted every. Yeah, that's correct. The Maria Lucia. So please find my most recent post on there. It is a photograph, and see if you can set a screen cap. That one
Look
right
at
there.
this photograph.
Yeah, the prison I was looking for.
Oh. You should be able to just right click and save.
You could do that, yeah. That'll work. Or you could do a screen, whatever. So, should I just put it up to you guys and give the answer? Because I think
No,
that's
I
the
think
right
it'd be
way
more
to-
fun. I think it'd be more fun. Let them guess
go
for a
through.
week.
Yeah, but like, what do we do? We don't have anything to offer.
It's just so what? Guess. See if you can get it.
Fair enough. So recently, I found myself cleaning the garage, as seems to be my entire existence as an adult male. The garage is the entry point to my home, and it is like 3 of the 4 most commonly used spaces in the house for me, with number 4 being like the bathroom. Because I hang out in there, I smoke my cigars in there, I do the podcast work in there, I practice music in there, I hang with my wife in there whenever it's, not really nice outside to sit and hang.
Right.
So, as a part of my cleaning up, I have to remove all of the paraphernalia from the poker table and clean the ashtrays and put everything back. And so I found myself needing to refill the old stash of cigar cutters and lighters.
There it is.
So that is the majority of what I have there is Corey's cigar cutters and lighter stash. I'm curious to think if, and I can't give the answer because Sam is going to want to give us a week to let everybody with no stakes just reach out and say what they think the number is. And I'll let you
47.
guys know next week.
My guess is 47.
How many cutters, how many lighters
Oh.
do you think it is? Not a combined total.
I was going 47 lighters.
I could tell you you're inaccurate right off the top of my head, even if that was combined effort.
Is this all of them?
No.
Very majority. There's a couple like that, and it's hard to count based on what it is. Now, there
Yeah,
are
because I don't
some.
see Iron Man sitting there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the. I had a couple different pictures, Iron Man and around, but there are a couple that got counted for both categories, because I've got like
The Duke
4
and-
Dukes,
yeah.
and the Vertigo one, which
Yep.
are both cutters and lighters, so they did get counted twice. So 47 is your
My overall guess.
overall guess. I'm curious if you have a guess as to what
Cutters, I'd say you have about 35 cutters. And lighters, I'd say probably 45.
Answer me this. How many cutters do you have in your truck?
Typically just one.
Okay.
Typically,
Because that makes a difference in my calculations.
yeah. So obviously, I'm not going to disclose. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Jason will have to wait for the kids until next week to find out for sure. You can use either
Yep.
column because I text it to myself so that I won't forget.
Yeah.
That's a relatively absurd amount of
That's a lot.
paraphernalia
Oh, no,
for
you
anybody.
got to
that-
let me see now.
Should I?
No, it's more
Yeah,
fun
I
this way.
think so. I have really, like, I have as many cutters and lighters as a lot of cigar shops do. Like, not you.
All right.
Because you, especially when you come into, like, you've got a Vertigo pack
Right.
that has, like, 12 cutters in this pack and
Yeah.
16, whatever it is.
But you're talking about table lighters. Like you've got
I've got
you've
a
got more
lot of
cutters and
crap.
lighters than I
To
do
be
than I
honest
have
with
out.
you, I think that's actually discluding a lighter. I think there's one more lighter because I forgot about the CAO one that looks like a motorcycle tank, a
Oh,
gas
yeah.
tank that you push down on. I've got that one hidden elsewhere, and I forgot a cutter too because. So that was one of the things I wanted to ask. Is I know Jason has what we know he has. Do you have any outside of the shop like a unique?
It's a wrong pipe.
A unique cigar accessory that's like very special to you or very like interesting or unique at all?
Nope.
I know I pulled it out one time on the show, and
Yep. Just
Hey.
keep going. Just roll with it.
I have remember the electronic cutter that I showed you the one time. It's like a meat slicer. You push in and and it electronically cuts your cigar.
It's terrible.
It's horrible.
It does it.
But I've never seen another one.
No. Yeah, it's definitely unique on that.
But I also have the custom travel humidor. I've always wanted one of those, by the way. One of those desktop ones that looks like an actual guillotine.
Ka-chink.
I wanted to not like that. Not like, oh, it looks like a cigar cutter, but it's kind of cool guillotine style. Like, I wanted a legit ass
Guillotine. Yeah.
to put cigars
Like that.
into. That would have been cool. But I also have that travel humidor that Ian Mock made me.
Yeah.
That matches my bag. That's like a one-of-a-kind thing nobody else
Dude,
has.
the cigar lays in a...
You lay it in the rest and slide it over.
Huh.
My grandfather had one of those.
Jason
I never saw him
just
smoke
found
a
another
cigar,
thing to
but
buy
he always
money.
had one of those.
Spend.
Yeah, So Jay's looking at it's a tabletop guillotine with a rest in it. So essentially the body lays there and you lop the head off. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you guys
That's
want
in
to...
there backwards.
It is.
If you want to comment on this week, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or one of the other incredible places you can get our podcast.
Yeah.
That's about what that's good enough for.
Stupidest I've ever seen. Sorry.
Why the
Tell 'em what we're
extended...
seeing. Because it's so
no,
stupid.
No. I'm more
We're
concerned
looking
with
at
that
a
squeak
black
that you
and
just made.
mild that is halfway through a guillotine cutter.
Yes.
That is so stupid. That is the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Well,
The things
after
that
this
make
podcast.
Corey laugh.
That warranted a 30
that
seconds.
was... Sorry, I was thinking about the water boy.
So was I. That's where I was going with it.
Gatorade. Water is better.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are
That
some.
is slick.
Yeah. Punch and straight cut.
And you can lock your door with it.
You know you have to go back through and find all these pictures and splice them in now. It's because like this is awkward.
I have the
Just keep talking.
the Cigar XO,
Yeah.
which is like the coolest thing you could carry in your pocket in terms of a cutter.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a few accessories. It turns out. I have more ashtrays than I've ever had smokers in my house, probably. But yeah, I was like, I should probably refill all these, and I put them all in one place to start refilling them, and I was like, hey, this is a picture for the social media.
Yeah. So I've never gotten into accessories. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Does it light my cigar? Does it cut my cigar? I'm the worst on that. Like, I love my
You
desktop.
got more
humidor.
than me, damn it.
I do now. Yeah.
You were
But,
like, I don't need a lot of accessories. I just need a cigar shop.
no, I knew I had to have a collection here for people to pick from. But
No, I know, but what I'm saying is by comparison.
Oh, yeah.
Where I have a compulsion to like roll in and be like, as I told you today, like you've seen the picture online. Don't show me the new cutter with the cool tool built into
Yeah,
it.
the
I don't
Marlin.
need that. That's for Jason. Jason likes the V cut, and he could probably use a draw enhancer every once in a while. Jason will buy one of those cutters. Leave me alone. I have enough. Is essentially what I'm getting to. The funny thing is, when you're in my garage, a few days before I do refill, and you're grabbing all of the lighters,
click, click, click,
yeah,
click, click, click. Like, but you have enough of them that it's not worth it to adjust the bottom because it's just faster to grab another one.
it's like a scene in a gunfight where they pull out and both of them are shooting like they're both empty and
Yeah.
they grab something else and it's
Click,
empty
click,
too.
click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yes.
Yeah, no, very much so.
Yeah. It gets to that point where you're like, I know one of these bastards got some fuel in it. You know what I mean?
One of these things has to go. So have you done much with draw enhancers? I have not used one hardly at all.
I've not owned one until this most recent Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I never had one, and actually I got a really cool tool that my wife bought me because I was like, "Hey, what I want is in my Amazon cart." But they make a pretty great tool that I would actually recommend that you try to carry it. I don't think it's brand specific. I grabbed one on Amazon. It looks very much like a pen light. Okay. Like the one side is even flared a little bit, like where it looks like that it would be the flashlight end.
Okay.
But what it has is it has a built-in couple of punches, I believe. There's 2 punches, but it like all unscrews and
Comes apart into assembly.
And on one side, it has a draw enhancer tool about that long.
Yep.
And on the other side, it has like a corn cob holder that's a nubbing tool.
Yep.
And then it has a couple of built-in punches as well.
I've
So
had
it's
those
like
on back order for like 4 months. I've been
it's
trying to get them.
It's a really good multi-tool for that purpose. Because if you ever go into like, I know like Smoke and OAS carry some nice draw enhancers that are like that, but it's just a draw enhancer in like a pen style, like an aluminum machined setup. And they're always like $40. And I'm like, if my $12 cigar isn't drawing well enough, pulling out a $40 tool to try to ream it out with is not going to make me feel
not gonna
better
fix
about
it.
the situation.
No, that's
Like the one I got's probably $20,
yeah.
but at least it has multiple functions, though I will never use them.
Well, and that's what gets me with some of the accessories. Like, I understand wanting to pay for quality, but like, why am I spending $250 on an ashtray?
I don't know.
It's
I spent
literally a
$99 on a lighter.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
buddy.
but that one, like,
that is
we're
actually
talking
like a
yeah.
drop in the bucket on what
Yeah.
you could spend.
Yeah,
I
there's
have a
$2,000-$3,000 lighters that are like fairly common.
I have the ashtray that I use most commonly in my garage is a $300 ashtray.
Yeah.
I did not spend that because it sat in a shop for a very long time, and it was discounted. Like it was kind of like oh, that's pretty, and he was like, "What do you want to give me for it?" You know. And I was like, well, I kind of want to give you this. And he's like, well, you're buying a lot of cigars. I tell you what, give me $30. And so I got it for 10%.
Okay.
But that's the Diamond Crown
Yeah.
Crystal. What would you call that? Like a pentagon?
I think so. I think it was
or
5.
Hexagon.
Hexagon.
No, hex is 8.
Hex is 6.
Septagon?
Sept
6 points,
sept
8
is
sides?
7.
I don't know. But I remember one time my brother-in-law called it, like he almost knocked it off the table when I wasn't home. And Shannon, like, almost crapped her pants.
The six-sided is a
She was
hexagon.
Yeah, hexagon.
really worried about it. And what? It's just a gaudy ashtray. It's like, she's like, Corey loves that thing.
Yeah,
like, you don't
bring-
get like gaudy, yes, probably. Like, especially
Absolutely.
to somebody outside that does not recognize, like, that I love that, like, Russian gangster style. Like, I always have to have. I cannot. This is the only glass in this entire shop. Well, there's one other one. There's two glasses in this whole shop that I will drink out of, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Because I just like that like
That vibe.
I feel like I'm doing something special when you're drinking out of a nice glass.
Yeah,
right?
it looks like a Shirley Temple glass.
Yeah.
So, but I'm that guy. Like, I need to have. I like to drink out of the nice glass. It makes the experience better for me.
Yeah.
And if you're into cigars that much, then it is the whole experience, the artwork, the craftsmanship, the handcrafted nature of the hobby that we've chosen to literally burn money on.
So I shouldn't go over there and show you the new ashtrays I got?
Absolutely not.
I'll be right back.
I'll see them.
My wife may still be watching, so just be careful. You know what I mean? Watch yourself. But I can't help it, man. I see these things, and I'm like, it's beautiful. It's unique. It's different.
Oh, no. He's pulling it out of a box.
Hey.
I have money in my pocket. This is stupid. This is stupid. And I've been sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I need a fuck. I owe a quarter.
Oh, it's that one. Those are okay.
That's the Ancora one, though.
You owe 50 cents. What's Ancora? For those who don't know. Is that a special brand, a high brand?
Yeah, it's not shoddy.
All right.
Yeah, it's
That's
Yeah.
the review, folks. It's not shoddy.
yeah, quality's there.
So the nice thing about that rest, right, is there's a million places to put your cigar. Your ashes fall through. Although, with my aim, there would be
just a
no
mountain of
ashes inside of that ashtray.
Yeah, there'd be a
They
mountain.
would just be all over the top. And I would constantly be putting my cigar in a pile of ashes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I actually look at that and go like, I'm all right.
I could not have one of these sitting on my desk because it
'Cause
would
you
not be
use
full
it?
of cigar ashes.
Ah.
It'd be full of cigarette butts.
That's
Yeah,
the problem
you'd
with the
hammer it.
multitasker.
Yeah, so
What is the price tag on this guy here?
$178.
Look at me, baby. I didn't buy the thing. I'm not even remotely interested.
But it is pretty.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not a crystal, ridiculous snowflake.
It's a very
It's
nice
pretty cool.
ashtray for sure.
No,
It's dope.
they are. And the machining on it is fantastic.
I can hear how heavy it is.
Yeah, it's got some oomph to it.
You're-
Ting, 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 ting,
You're
ting.
looking at a guy who cut a hole in my workbench specifically so that I could have an ashtray that would drop in and sit flush. You've seen it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have. Drew Estate has these boxes that they come out with that have like a tin, almost lunchbox style to them. They come with like an ashtray, a rest, all these different accessories in them. So I have this one that has like a wolf in it, and it's 2 cigar rests. And I even cut where the cigar rests are, so it sits about 1/4 of an inch over the top of my workbench.
Yep.
So that I don't have to worry about like knocking it around when I'm doing work. I have a place to set my cigar while I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff, and it works pretty well. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is the very latest.
Yeah,
If we
that's-
wrap
that's
up a
the
minute or two
game
early, I'm not
over.
going to be upset about it. Yeah, Shannon was actually in the very beginning.
We can wrap in 10 minutes if you want.
She was coming in a little bit like concerned,
Like, hey, let's go.
which is
She has right to be today. Yeah.
The one thing I show up on for the show when I don't cancel it, which I've only done once, I show up in plenty of time. Like today, I was here waiting at the door before Sam got out of the truck. You were here,
Oh, yeah.
but he was.
I wanted to play a game of chess before I came in. I totally did, too. I was like, we're just going to sit here. Because I got here at like 7:25. I was like, yeah, I got time. And then that game took forever.
Shall we
But
hit
I
news
won.
at all,
Yeah, let's
or
do it.
just save it for next week?
Yeah. No, let's hit it. See
Do
what
the
happens.
news.
We do that. Before we do that, little sidetrack. This is what I call the call to arms. That is not the industry standard, but I think it sounds a lot cooler.
All
Call to
right.
arms, isn't it?
I mean,
you got a suit
I like
of
the
armor
cigar
behind you.
I like the cigar. So, like, it's go.
Hey. Our mission is to create a welcoming and engaging community for cigar enthusiasts of all levels. We strive to provide insightful reviews, industry news, and entertaining discussions that enhance the cigar experience. Through the show, we aim to connect listeners with the rich culture of cigars, foster meaningful conversations. I was going to say there's nothing fast about this. And celebrate the camaraderie that comes with sharing a good smoke. If you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and share this show with anyone you think would enjoy it. And as always, thank you for your engagement and your support. Jason, a big proponent of like, hey, let's do this thing, staring off into space while I read it, you know?
So, did you guys Spotify has comments now?
What?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, so they added it on there. So that's another place for you to comment.
Have we gotten any yet?
Yeah, a couple.
Troy Harper?
No.
The important thing is share the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Spread the love.
I would say more so than the actual like hitting the buttons is aim to share it with people that you think will actually enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like tell somebody.
I disagree.
it.
Just share it everywhere. Just massive sharing.
I feel like you're gonna have with what we do and what we have. I guess I feel like the likelihood is that we're gonna have more success on a slow build with people that actually are in the target area. But I guess you can't.
I would say that
Hurt.
I would have agreed, but once I opened the shop and like the guys that listen to it from here, most of them I never would have been like, oh, I think you'll enjoy this, and they're the ones that like listen every week.
Yeah.
So like that's why I disagree. It's
The less toes,
you don't
the
know
better.
who's going to be into it.
Okay, starting off the news, we got these cigars heading the retailers. La Gloria Cubana Gran Legado. The new limited edition is a massive 7 3/4 by 62 Perfecto format that was inspired by another La Gloria cigar blend. The popular La Gloria Cubana Cigar. That's good because that is the one that I go to
yes.
from that brand. For the Gran Legado, the goal was to deliver a richer, fuller taste. The blend features a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper over higher primings of Dominican and Nicaraguan tobaccos. That's actually something that I might be interested in grabbing a hold of.
It's too big, though.
Oh, yeah, it is absolutely way too big.
That's too much cigar.
At least it's a Perfecto.
Okay.
So like it might not be massively intrusive. Why that I looked at the
Pull
screen.
up the
at a
La
bad
Gloria
time.
Cubana Gran Legado, please.
Gran Legado, Legado. Caseta Oktoberfest 2024 is designed to be paired with your favorite malt beverage over the years, has been an annual limited edition line released in different sizes and blends produced at Tabadex factory in Dominican Republic. The 24 edition uses the same blend that was introduced in 2021 with the 10th anniversary. If you don't know where to grab these, every October, our friend Bill Coyne over at the
Blind
Fox does an event for these, and it's a great opportunity for you to pick up a beer and a cigar that are going to pair well together. And then we've got the Asylum 12 2024 edition. This marks the 6th consecutive year that Asylum brand has released an anniversary cigar. The series launched in 2019 and is designed to offer an ultra-premium smoke to those who prefer a larger ring gauge, not us. Previously, Asylum anniversary cigars have been packaged in coffins. The Asylum 12 is packaged in tubes, marking the first time an Asylum anniversary cigar has been packaged in this format. And then finally, we have not a heading to retailers, but an actual little piece of news. Drew Estate has announced the 2024 edition of the Liga Privada Unico Serie Pancetta will soon be available in Wooden Indian Tobacco Shop in Havertown, Pennsylvania, and Barrister Cigars in Union, New Jersey. The annual release has been exclusive to these two retailers since it was introduced in 2019. I only included it because it was Pennsylvania. I didn't realize it was quite that bad, so sorry, Sam. But, well, you know, a new Liga, nice sometimes.
Something new to chase and try and get a hold of.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that is.
Honestly, like that looks like something out of a much more high-end factory, like a Plasencia or something like that.
Yeah, so that Gran Legado, man, they did really well. It is a larger ring gauge, but it's perfecto, so it's not going to be...
It looks pre-cut in the photo.
Yeah, it does, actually. Maybe they just cut it for the photo. I'm not sure.
It's interesting. I'm curious to know if...
Yeah, it's probably the prettiest cigar I've seen in a long time.
It's
that
very well
presentation is phenomenal.
If Jason was good at his job, he's pulling up a screen grab while instead of just sitting on it for us to see, he'd give it to you guys too. He wasn't working on it.
I know, but it was fun to try and back him up a little bit. I'm a supporter. No, that looks good, and now I am intrigued by it.
I'd smoke it. I'd put it in my mouth, you know.
Do we know what the price point is on it?
I have no idea.
Say with that presentation, I'm curious. It could go one of two ways because La Gloria is not too bad.
Yeah, La Gloria General has a couple that are. I don't know what's happening there. General has a few that go up there, but you would hope for something like that if they're trying to appeal to their base market and really sell. Who knows?
La Gloria.
I mean, it is probably the most ultra premium looking cigar I've seen come out of that company in a long time. So maybe that's what they're going for, is just trying to reach that market.
I don't think La Gloria is
21 or older. Jason, this is not a dating podcast.
I don't think that's a General cigar. I'm pretty sure that's a Ashton product.
General?
La Gloria Cubana.
Yeah, I'm sorry. La Gloria?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who sells them. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the La Glorias are Ashton product. So
I mean, you would definitely know more than I would.
I'm not certain on this at all. So
Habano says,
hello,
General.
Scales is
General.
Is it General?
Mm-hmm. Hey. Yeah, Habanos is obviously the Cuban version, but the American version owned by General. Score one for Corey.
Yeah.
Corey wins.
Didn't know we were doing that.
There we go.
Morning,
they should be able to see
Jeff
that.
and Chris. I guess they both woke up at the same time. Hopefully.
Well, they logged in at our normal start time.
Well, yeah, it's fair. Hopefully your abdominal muscles are still recovering from last night, Jeffrey. That really that bad? I thought that was relatively tame for a Corey comment.
Whoa.
No, I guess not.
Because they went to a comedy fest last week.
They went who?
They went to a comedy show last week. So I was like,
yeah,
did
every
they?
time I think that we're gonna hang out at the Leaning House, they're like, "Now we got something better to do." And what did they do? They went to see my brother.
Right, dude. They went and saw what's his name, Brad. Oh, I can't think of his name right now.
Jesus, Jason.
You gonna make it there, bud?
Even for you.
No, this thing got me.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
about time.
It's wrong pipe or what?
He forgot it wasn't a Newport.
He inhaled. You're not supposed
Now,
to do
Jason,
that.
lean into the microphone and go, smooth.
Oh, so smooth.
Smooth
It's
and so
actually
nice.
very much more subdued than I remembered, like almost mild by what my expectation
Now,
for it was.
I'm a little further than halfway through this thing,
Yeah.
and it is, boy, is it peppery down here.
See, I'm not getting any of it.
Nope, me neither.
Yeah.
I even retroed a little pepper on the end of a long retro. It's not that bad. Williams.
I mean, even on
Brad
the retro,
Williams.
it's not too much. Brad Williams, thank you. But no, it's. I'm really enjoying the cigar. I'm glad it's not as peppery as I remember it being. It sounds like you got the one that was, and we didn't. But
It sounds like somebody's a wuss.
yeah, I mean, let's go with that.
Cheese.
Cheese and rice.
That actually brings me back to what this cigar you used to remind me of would be on a 10-point scale, a 9, compared to the cigar, the very first episode of the Cigar Junkies podcast, which was never aired.
Yes.
Never aired. The first time Jason and I tried to do this back in 2016, Barry Stein of Miami Cigars and Cigar Authority fame, I know I misspoke there, had decided that he wanted to come out with his own cigar brand. And being from Miami, loving Scarface, called the cigar Kilo. As in like a kilo of Coke. And
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
essentially, he had he blended this cigar to be the strongest cigar that he could possibly create with the resources available to him.
Yeah.
And the Kilo was a monster. That was the first time I reached out and dry begged for something. I was like, hey, can we get one of these? And he sent us a couple. He was very nice to send us a couple. He might have even sent more than I asked for. That cigar was that cigar,
rough,
especially for Jason, who at that time was not an experienced cigar smoker at all. That was like 2 packs of Newports at one time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the guy
Oh, wow.
in the the book. What's the dang book? The record book.
I know what you're talking about. The Guinness Book of World
Guinness.
Records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the guy that's got like a whole that was what that reminded me of. That's what
Okay.
it felt like. Was smoking like 52 cigarettes at the same time.
It was.
That cigar was like camping.
Yes, it was intense.
Hey, appreciate that about you.
Yeah. That's what you appreciate about me.
Oh, our humor is so bad. It's what you get with 3 dads.
But yeah, yes.
That could be the name of the
But no,
new show.
the Kilo, boy, oh boy.
That guy.
You talk about a cigar, man. That thing
Warmed you up.
Warmed you up. You know
Yeah,
what?
oh,
That's
yeah.
a
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, like if you're stuck on Mount
Description.
Everest and you're like, I know it's not actually going to warm me, but I want to feel warm. Like, let me just chug this 5th of vodka and then smoke a Kilo, and I'll at least think I'm warm.
Yeah, you'll get those feelings,
Yeah, yeah.
huh?
Oh yeah, it's boy, it was something.
That's awesome.
That those cigars are the kinds they're not ones that I'd smoke on a regular basis, but every once in a while I like one that's going to turn me green.
Just
Yeah,
punish
yeah.
me.
Yeah,
That's
just
the one
turn-
that you give to your unsuspecting buddy, for sure.
Well, I mean, you guys remember me telling you the Neanderthal made
Neanderthal.
No, he's talking about the band, like Jethro.
Tall.
I'm almost positive that's how it's pronounced. But anyway,
Neanderthal.
anyway,
It's a TH.
that one,
Birdwalk.
that. Oh, if
He's broken, ladies and gentlemen.
if I was quicker on the button, I'd have been like, that's.
Hey, Jen,
that's-
if you're
that's-
listening and you could go ahead and hop on Newegg and order a RAM upgrade for Jason, that'd be great.
yeah, whatever.
Neanderthal.
Yeah, the Neanderthal. I hate
You
you.
and your buddies were talking pronunciation the other day.
So
The other day.
See
See how far we can keep them off.
Made my friend puke. I'm done.
He got there.
Hey.
I'll give him that. Jeff Scale said, so for the new cigar smoker that you don't like, huh?
That's right. Something like that.
Like, oh, you should try this. I smoke 5 a day. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Oof.
And Jason, like, you'll learn one of these days. You just gotta steamroll through it. Like, that's the one thing I loved about Sam right out the gate when we started the show. Is sometimes I'm saying stuff just to be a jackass in the background. Like, don't do a disservice to the show and let what
Corey
I'm
talk.
saying be at the forefront. Sometimes
Don't do a disservice to the show and be a jackass.
Don't do a disservice to the
I
show and
don't know
acknowledge
how
Corey's
not to.
comments.
I always like those. Like I like the podcasts that have like that fun energy of like good friends where like they're saying something stupid and funny, but the other guy just knows well enough to just keep going
Sure.
and let it be
Just
background
roll
noise.
with it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Roll with it.
Roll with
You
it.
get that. Jason's like, oh, let's put the camera on him and see what he has to say. Not the right idea.
Where is Ryan Seneca with
Where
the hot
in
coffee?
the
Oh, not
world
today.
is Ryan
Yeah,
Seneca?
he's in the comments. You can talk to
Yeah.
him there.
Looks great in a trench coat,
I
by the way.
I drank. So we got up at 4 o'clock this morning for a horse competition. So my coffee consuming was
Tijuana?
done by 6:30, which is why I was like, "Hey, you want some yesterday's coffee?"
Interestingly enough, I drink an obscene amount of coffee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay? I drink an obscene amount of coffee. This week at camp, which for those of you who don't know, I was at Boy Scout
Camping
camp
is
all
outside.
week. Anyway, I'm the assistant scoutmaster for Troop 461 out of Smith
Are you
PA.
the assistant
Represent.
scoutmaster, or are you the assistant to the scoutmaster?
I get what you're saying there. Anyway, I think the entire week I consumed a pot of coffee.
Oh no.
That was what the pool was for.
That
was the
pot
alternative.
of coffee because it wasn't. So I hate to bird walk here, but we had all of our scouts were young, and they were in the Pathfinder program, which is it's all set out for them. It's their first year at Boy Scout camp. This is what they're doing. These are the set. It's regimented.
Yeah.
So 4 Pathfinders
Except for that shooter kid.
and 1 Eagle. So it was, I had no time to do anything. But what was cool is the first day they had their guide, right? So they had one of the counselors, took them around. They took them to each of the summits, which are like classes. And day 2, they were like, you're on your own.
Bye.
Get there.
Yep.
Which was kind of cool because it gave them a bit of responsibility. If you want to earn this merit badge, you're
gotta
going to
do
be
it.
at the summit on time.
Yep.
And
That's
if
awesome.
you're not at the summit on time, they have a period called siesta, which is directly after lunch. It's like 45 minutes where,
It's nap time.
yeah, we don't have anything to do. They can go play. I don't know if you know what Gaga Ball is.
And I got a body.
Really cool. Really cool. It's in like an octagon that's probably the size of our sitting
Bunch
area
of little kids
here.
in an octagon. Let's go.
And they put
I'll
a soccer
money on
ball in it, and you hit it with your hand, and the object is to hit another kid in the foot with it. So you hit it with your hand.
Yeah, that's
and
not what
you hit
they
it with their
objective
legs.
state as.
So it's real fun game, and the kids love playing it. But yeah, if you don't get to your stuff on time, you got to go back to whatever station you were at during siesta, and make your stuff up. So it was cool. Yeah, we did not stop moving, and I did.
If only you had that kind of work ethic at work.
That's true. If I had my Boy Scout work ethic at work,
You'd be running the
I was gonna
place by
say,
now.
Given work day, you smoke half a pack and drink a whole pot of coffee for sure.
if I'm over at
The mill?
Temper
Or-
Mill,
Yeah.
if I'm over at Temper Mill,
Yeah.
I drink 3 pots of coffee.
Game over. Well, we are
All right.
coming up on time.
Oh,
so
yeah. I was
final thoughts on the
transitioning.
cigar, Corey.
Let's go, Pitter patter. Not as bad as I remembered. For me, this is actually just like a hair over medium. It's not bad. It's nothing necessarily to write home about either, because I don't think this cigar was blended to be like, man, check out the flavor. It was blended for the strength, which is kind of the weird thing about it because I don't feel like the strength is there anymore. So it doesn't quite add up to be like that one chip challenge that it used to be.
It's like slightly agitated Kristoff, not pissed off anymore.
It's you know what it feels like? It feels like when you were a little kid and you thought like hot fries were hot, and then you grow up and they're just like a delightful snack.
Old Andy Caps.
Yeah.
You?
I'm actually really enjoying the flavor profile on it because it doesn't have that strength. It's not aggressive and rude just for the sake of being rude. So I'm
feel like
liking
that
that
was a
it's. No, there's
me.
oh no no there's some cigars that like they lack it's like hot sauce, you know, it's super spicy but it has no actual flavor profile or body to it, so it's just hot. I don't like that. I want complexity. I want something to go along with it. This cigar has that without the heat this time, but you said yours is getting the heat this time.
Mine, it's not I mean, there surely is that like black pepper taste, but I'm getting like a lot of like leather.
See, we're not smoking the same cigar.
That could just
That's
be
wild.
left over from craft time at Scout Camp.
And I'm getting like leather, like earthy, like almost moss, dirt.
Yeah.
But it's not dirt in a bad way, but you know what I'm saying? It's like an earthy.
What'd you
Yeah,
think of
yeah,
that cold draw at the beginning? I thought the cold draw was fantastic.
Yeah, it's not as strong as I don't want to say it's not as strong as I'd like it to be. It is just strong enough.
Nice. Oh, and congratulations, by the way.
Hey,
Right here.
I got one through.
You finally got a cigar
Oh,
that didn't screw up on you. Was it like 3 weeks in a row?
yeah,
He got
wasn't bad,
the
wasn't
dud
bad.
like 3 weeks in a row.
yeah, it was the last few.
Last week
weren't-
was not
I mean,
great.
it still isn't what I thought it was going to be, but it's not bad. It's good. It's smoking good. I mean, the burn is really great on this.
Yeah, the
And
cigar itself like burnt perfect for you this
it's
time as opposed to the last
constructed
couple.
very well.
All the Kristoffs are. They're all good sticks.
Yes,
Like, if you
yes.
haven't revisited them in a while, go back to them.
If you like pigtails,
But I would say the Habano hits me harder than this one does.
Yeah.
yeah,
Significantly
this isn't
harder.
anything to like get excited about, but it's not bad. So I realize now, and then I'm going to turn it over to Sam to close this out, that I have a very Seth MacFarlane mind because my brain is essentially an episode of Family Guy. Like, we have a main story moving along, and then I just get these little flashes off to a thing.
Chicken
that
fight
somebody
kind of thing,
says.
yeah.
He has
And
a
so-
Seth MacFarlane mind. I have a Todd McFarlane mind. It's good.
So that's he's a comic book artist.
Yeah, he created Spawn.
So essentially, you're talking about tasting leather, and in my head, I go to a little flashback of him at camp going like, these boys can't cook for crap. And so like they had just finished making wallets or belts or something, and so he's like chewing on the leftover leather scraps just as like something to get some sort of taste or nourishment in his mouth. And that's how my brain works. So just so you know. What's the upcoming events at the shop? I know we're doing a 9 o'clock show next week because it's Sunday Fun Day, yes?
Yeah, we got
What
Sunday
we got?
Fun Day, which is going to be Liberty Pool, our standard last Sunday of the month. And really, that's all we have on the docket right now.
All right, cool. Well, we will be doing that show at 9 a.m. We will be smoking, if I'm not mistaken, the Placencia Reserva was your next one on the lineup. Unless
the
you want to
149?
I don't know. You just said Placencia Reserva in the text message.
We'll get back to. We'll let you guys know in the banner. But yeah, I want to believe
as soon
it.
as he
I
lets
believe
me
it's
know, I'll let you guys
no.
know.
So that's the Cortez Reserva, and we can't smoke that because they're still on back order.
Up in the
They're
air,
still
kids.
reserved.
Here's the thing.
I got like 20 boxes in last time, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll smoke that. It's great stick. Everything about it's awesome. They flew off the shelf, and I haven't been able to get them back. So
July 28th, 9 a.m., we'll be smoking something.
yeah,
Something.
cigars.
Come hang out with us every Sunday morning at one time or another, where you can hang with us in the live chat, chime in, like the Scaleses have, my beautiful wife, Ryan Seneca, Harper, all of them kids. Say the thing.
Salut.
Shoot at.